This is the lesson for Chapter 5, Section 3, Chapter 5, Section 4, Form B, Review Solving Systems by Elimination. So let's take a look at our first problem here. And so it says the table shows the number of correct answers on a practice standardized test. You score 86 points. Okay, that's key information there, so I'm going to underline that. You score 86 points on test. Your friend, so you score 86. Your friend ends up scoring 76 points. Write a system of linear equations that represent this situation. And then how many points? This is key also. We always want to look at the questions asking how many points is each type of question worth. So we have two different questions here. We have multiple choice and short response. So I'm going to call M equals the number of points for or per each multiple choice and question. And then I'm going to say, give another variable. I'm going to use R for the number of points per short response question. And so now I've defined my variables. So when I go ahead and solve, I'll be able to understand what it means when I come up with an answer. And so now I want to set up an equation. Let's start with the multiple choice questions. And so we have, or let's start with U. It says we've got two equations that we can set up. We're going to set up your equation first, actually the U equation I should probably say. So the U equation goes this way. This is U. So we have 23 multiple choice questions, and we don't know how many points they're worth. So we're going to use M again. We use that for the number of points per multiple choice question. Plus, and then we had 10 short response questions times by the variable R. And U scored 86 points. So that's why I put 86 right here. Now, your friend. We're going to do his or her equation. And so your friend scored 28. You got 28 multiple choice questions correct, but only 5 short response questions and scored only, let's see, 76. So you can tell just by looking at these two problems here, the multiple choice, you scored less multiple choice questions correct and more short response, and you got a higher score. So that tells me short response is worth a little bit more than the multiple choice. So let's go ahead and find out if that's the case. So I'm going to multiply your friend's equation by -2, and that's going to cancel out the R term. So now I've got negative 56M minus 10R equals negative 152. I got those numbers by multiplying 2 times 76, 2 times 5, 2 times 28, and I multiplied by a negative so that they'll cancel out. And so I'm going to bring your equation down, the U equation, and then I'll go ahead and add the two equations together. So I have to subtract since they're opposite in sign, so I get negative 33M. Subtract these two numbers, I get negative 66. So I'm finding out that when I divide by negative 33, I'm getting M equals 2. So it's 2 points. 2 points per multiple choice question. So now I know what the multiple choice questions are worth. They're worth 2 points apiece. So now let's find out what short response is. So what we can do now is take that 2 and let's substitute it back into one of your equations. I'm going to put it in the U equation. So I'm going to take 23, multiply it by 2, and then I got plus 10R equals 86. So when I double 23, that gives me 46. And then I can go ahead and subtract that 46 from my total, and that's going to give me 40. So I know I got 40 points from the from the short response. So let's find out how many each question is worth. So when I divide by 10, the number of questions I got right, I find out it's 4 points per short response. And so that's what we ended up seeing on that problem. Let's take a look at one other problem that we'll end up seeing here. And it says you can jog around the block twice. Okay, it might be you and your friend again. We'll find out. You can jog around your block twice, and the park, so and means plus, and the park once in 10 minutes. Okay, so we know we've got two different things: jogging around the park and the block. Okay, so we got those two things. Okay, you again, so it didn't matter that it wasn't your friend or anything, but you can jog around the block twice and the park 3 times in 22 minutes. Okay, so we're going to write a system of equations that represents this situation. How long does it take you to jog around the park? So let's go with, we got two parts that we don't know. Block B, we don't know how long. Time, we'll say, to jog around block, and we'll go with P stands for the time to jog around park. And again, you should always define your variables so you know what you're solving for at the end, otherwise you're not going to know. And these are in minutes too. It's always nice to know what kind of units we're in, and make sure they're all the same. So 22 minutes, 10 minutes, yeah, everything's the same. So let's go ahead and do the first scenario. So equation number 1, situation number 1. You go around the block twice, so 2b, and the park 1 time, 1p, and that equaled 10 minutes. So I got it from the first equation. The second equation said block twice again, so 2b, park 3 times, so 3p equaled 22 minutes. So now we have the two equations. Let's go ahead and solve. So we do that by just eliminating maybe the block. And so I'm going to multiply just by -1, every single number there. And so that becomes -2b minus 1p equals -10. So when I add this together, I end up canceling out the running around the block, and I'm left with 2 parks equals 12 minutes. It takes 12 minutes to go around the park twice. So if I just take half of that, that's going to be how much it takes to go around the park 1 time. It's 6 minutes. So 6 minutes to jog around the park. And so there we have it. So those are types of questions that we saw today. Good luck.